All right, guys. Let's get in here because we're going to be starting the show every day at 5 o'clock. Get right through it. Get right to it. Come on in, guys. Like I said, I want you guys to be in on time. 5 o'clock. We want to start the show as quick as possible. And if you guys don't catch the show live, you're going to have to go get it on YouTube. Just give me a sec so we get all set up here. Sixers shit the bed. They absolutely did. We'll talk real quick before we bring guys in. What happened yesterday? Not good, I seen. 3 winners, 3 losers. Put all the plays in the story. As a matter of fact, my man Frank Martinez said it's good that you do that. No, nobody else shows their losers. Guys, I ain't afraid of showing the losers. There's going to be losers. Only a fucking fraud could tell you he never loses. So if we want to talk about the games real quick, what happened to the 76ers? They lost. Here's my way of thinking on that game, guys. Phoenix Suns had already locked up home court throughout. So I'm betting against them as much as I'm betting on the 76ers. If that game was played 2 weeks prior to yesterday, there's no way I would have bet on the 76ers in the game. In this particular series, Philadelphia had lost 5 straight meetings, 0-4-1 against the spread. The difference, like I said, yesterday, with Phoenix having the home court locked up through the playoffs, Bucky told you Suns was going to win. Bucky knows his shit. But me and Bucky have different opinions, and I'm better than Bucky in NBA. Bucky knows some stuff. Look, guys, good guy. What is Bucky's handle? Send me Bucky's handle. But he ain't me in NBA. Nobody is. I'm the best NBA handicapper in the entire world. I beat games 2 points, 3 points, 4 points, 5 fucking points to the number every day. Nobody beats the NBA like me. Anyway, to finish off the game, there's no way in the world that I expect Chris Paul to play 36 minutes in that game. Go check out Chris Paul's stuff. Stop crying. It's called gambling. I don't cry if that's meant for me. King Louis, go. We win, we lose with the best of them. Back to what I was saying. Chris Paul, 36 minutes. He was a plus 25 while he was on the court. So no way in the world that I think you're going to play an aging point guard once you've already got it locked up. Just didn't make sense. The Phoenix Suns played that game like it was a Game 7. Forget about James Harden having a 2-for-11 horrible day. Going back to Arizona where he played his college ball. That's crying. He just didn't have a good day. But not expecting the Suns to come with the intensity to play the way they did. And these guys, these are games you lose. Knick game we lost, that's a heartbreaker. Went off and running in the first half. We laid 3 in a game lose 2. Lakers got a 22-point lead. Blow the game, just a horrible game. Sixers didn't want the number 1 seed. Guys, stop all of that stuff about who's scared to beat the fucking Nets. Nets just got fucking beat by Charlotte in Brooklyn yesterday, and we were all over that one. So, along my 3 losers was 3 winners. Still not a good day. I don't consider that a good day. We'll make the fucking... we'll do better as we do all the time. Fucking Knicks. Just fucking Knicks. Just not a... again, when I tell you guys lay 3 on the Knicks and the game goes to 5, we did nothing wrong. Just didn't finish it. We're on the right side. That's all I tell you guys all the time. Hornets money line was minus $2 game. Knicks are known to blow leads. They sure are. Didn't know if the Pistons even wanted to win. All right, guys. Let's, like I said, can't do it. How do you feel about the Celtics? Guys, when you come on, don't even ask about particular games. We're going to go over all the games, just waste of time. What would your move be on the Raptors? Lay it anyway. I'll say it when we go when we get to that game. Ben, and we're gonna have the prop teacher in here. We're still in TJ. Hold on while I get Ben in also. I thought I hit him first.
Everybody. How's your day been today, John?
It's 80-something degrees down here in Florida. I just get in from outside, so I'm fucking sweating like an animal.
That's nice.
Ben, I didn't even know you had fucking hair, Bo. I thought you were bald, but you always had the baseball cap on.
Yeah, I usually rock the baseball cap. I got a haircut, though, so I feel like I have to not wear a hat for a few days while the haircut's fresh.
Off the fucking cap. Show it off. All right, guys. So we got prop teacher back. And what we're going to do, we're going to run through the games. And I guess he'll weigh in or not. And then he'll jump in to get the rest of his stuff. You'll go over to his Instagram page. Or where should they go, bud, to catch the rest of your actual plays?
Yeah, you can just come to my. You can send me a DM here on Instagram. That's the best way to contact me. But yeah, I do have. John, I was trying to be a man of the people, man. I got lots of free plays for everyone today, so I did my homework.
All right, so let's. Prop teachers coming with a lot of free plays, so let's make them make some fucking money, so the wife don't fucking force them into retirement again. Try to hook them up with a couple of bucks, with a couple of props. I'll try to hook you guys up with some NBA winners. And what do we got going on, Ben, college-wise?
Yeah, college-wise, no games today. There's a couple of NIT games tomorrow, waiting on a couple more injury reports there. We'll have something on the website later tonight, have a pretty heavy lean. And, hey, we're down to the Final Four, guys, so a couple more games left here in the big dance, and we'll have some of those plays out, most likely starting maybe Tuesday night, but for sure Wednesday for Final Four plays.
All right, guys. If you're a VIP member or a website member, I sent out a message today. At the beginning of the day, I did not have a play. Yesterday, not a normal day for me. I had a bet on 6 of the 7 NBA games, and I was dying to bet the Celtics, but with Horford out, 6.5 points, 6 points, just a little too much. But fucking Celtics, they're on another planet right now. Them and the Suns right now have just separated themselves on the East and the West, just a couple of points ahead of every other team. Anyway, so like I said on my website and in the VIP message, I bet 6 out of 7 games yesterday. As of this morning, I did not have a bet. I only bet when I feel I have an edge, guys. Previews go on the website at 11 o'clock. Games, I might give you a game as soon as we get off the live for tomorrow if I see a right line for tomorrow. We struck out on the game I gave on the Saturday live, talking about the 76ers game. Again, like I said, just did not see them coming with a game that they came with. They played with all the intensity in the world. I thought that would be a basic play good for a half, and then get the start of some rest, not play, like I said, an 18-point guard, 36 minutes. And like I said, the proof of the pudding is if Chris Paul's plus-minus rating is a plus 25, take him off the court for another 10, 12 minutes and let him play a normal amount of time for a team that's already clinched the division, clinched home court throughout, and there's your game. But anyway, don't DM me, guys. You DM, you can't ask customer service who they like in a game. They can't give you an answer. Okay? Put questions and comments on the page. If you think you missed a VIP message, as a VIP member, go to the website, click on VIP messages, and you can see any messages that would have been sent out. Chances are you didn't miss it. I just didn't send it out. Okay? As soon as I got it bet, I'll send it out. Any issues with the website, contact B. 619, excuse me. Contact B at 619-363-0395. With that being said, first game on the card tonight, Nuggets and Hornets. Hornets playing real good basketball. That's why I jumped on them last night against the Nets. Denver, just 2-3 straight up, 1-4 in their last 5. Not playing such good basketball. There's a little home revenge here. Charlotte won at Denver by 8 points. I wanted to bet Denver at 3. Just no edge for me to bet the game. I know Charlotte's on a back-to-back, but they haven't been. They're 7-1 in their last 8 games. 3 was pretty much the right number, what I made it. No edge for me, no bet for me, Ben.
Yeah, guys, slight lean to Denver in this spot here for me in this game. You had the home revenge factor. Hornets, they're just the worst teams on back-to-back in the NBA. 3-10 against the spread in their 13 games on back-to-back this year. And Nuggets been playing pretty decent on the road, 8-2 against the spread the last 10 road games. So my lean here is to Denver, but I always talk about it with the Nuggets guys and the way they go on runs with and without Jokic on the floor. So I look to live bet them on those spots and we get them at a better price. So definitely think there'll be a good point to get a better price for Denver at some point tonight.
Yeah, this game does have one of the props that one of my favorite props today that I already gave out to some people on the IG. But a couple trends here that I think are worth mentioning. LaMelo Ball, been the best player for the Hornets on back-to-backs this year. With zero rest, he's actually averaging more points, more rebounds, and more shot attempts in games with no rest than he is when he's rested. So I think he's a good look today for Hornets. Miles Bridges had a very big first half yesterday against the Nets, bad second half. And he's actually one of those guys that struggles when he doesn't have a lot of rest. Games with no rest, he's shooting for 21 for Ball would be a good look as well.
Is that a TJ with an under prop I just heard? I don't think I've heard that one.
Hey, that's why I said it's free, Ben.
All right, guys. Orlando Magic, Cleveland Cavs. Here's a game that, again, if this game was played a couple of weeks ago, would be the Magic and nobody. Right now, don't want the Magic, don't want the teams that are literally fighting for the top draft pick. Okay, so right now, let me just punch this up. We've got the Pistons, Magic, Houston Rockets, 3 teams tied with 20 wins apiece for the worst record. So that's for the number 1 draft pick. Like I said, this game, they sent this game out last night at 10. It's down to 9. So that's where the money's going to the Magic. Earlier in the season, Cleveland won by 13 in Cleveland. Magic had won the prior 7 meetings, 6-1 against the spread. So this would be a game right up my alley. Like you say, only make this game about 5.5. Just can't do it. I'm not going to be on the teams that don't look like they're going to try. Orlando's last game lost to Sacramento, lost the game before that. Don't know if they're coming with a game. Cavs presently in 7th place. Every game is big for them. They want to get up, like I says, top 6 spots, guys. They avoid the play-in. 7 through 10 is the play-in. Right now, Cavs are in the play-in. They're playing horrible basketball right now. They need a W. Do they get it here against the lottery team? So I'm staying off this one.
Yeah, guys, Cavs are nothing in this spot. It's a pretty big number for them here, and they're 1-3-1 against the spread their last 5 home games. Just with where they're at in the seeding right now in the Eastern Conference on that cusp of the play-in, I mean, there's just no way you can kind of fade that team right now, especially with the Magic. It is, the spot technically would be Magic early in the season, like John had just said, but playoff considerations, got to look at Cleveland. Big number. If anything, I would look at this game, it would be a first-half play. Orlando's just the worst first-half team in the NBA, dead last in points and against the spread. So could be a look there for the Cavs first half, but I'm not touching this game.
So interesting news in Cleveland. They're moving Karis LeVert now from coming off the bench to now being a starter alongside Darius Garland. So I think there's some value for a prop here. Darius Garland obviously having a phenomenal year, but he goes from 0.67 points per minute down to 0.58 points per minute when Karis LeVert is beside him on the court. Kind of like the Colin Sexton effect. He didn't score as much with Sexton. He's not scoring as much with LeVert. So, Ben, you're going to like this. I think Darius Garland under 24.5 is a solid look here as well. I mean, like John said, could be a blowout here. The Cavs need this game. Magic don't. We might not see Garland in the fourth quarter, but if this rate keeps up as it's been, 0.58 points per minute, he would need to play 45 minutes to reach 25 points. Now, he's not going to get that today. So I think an under for Garland, 24.5 is a good play.
I'm just going to weigh in on a comment here. My man Dimitri says to avoid the fuckery in Raptors full game, I love first half spread. Okay, guys, if maybe they come out slow in the first half. Look, we'll get to that game, but I happen to like the comment. For the guys that have been using the numbers, here's that Raptor Celtic game. This is the game I tell you guys to watch out for. I know a lot of my guys are starting to look at the ratings and jump in on the ratings on the overnight, which is great if you're beating the number. Remember how important the injuries are. You got to be up on who's sitting guys out. Biggie Smooth is also throwing it out there. Clay, Green, Otto Porter Jr., all out. Injuries are huge, guys, this time of the year. This was kind of what I was looking with Phoenix. Maybe not sit everybody, but give them less time. So in the Celtic game, everybody's going to sit. You've got to know those injuries ahead of time. And I'm going to give you guys a clue in for tomorrow. Tomorrow, LeBron is actually doubtful. Where he really is doubtful, he played through pain at the end of the game with the ankle. So don't see that if that's questionable. You know, we always make fun. They've got him listed as questionable every day. That it's actually a doubtful tomorrow. So I just want to give you guys a heads up on that one. Again, Hawks, Pacers, same situation. Team going for the playoffs. They're in the 10th spot. They got a 4.5 game lead on the Knicks. So I don't think they're too worried about the Knicks. But they still want to have some W's. Like to get out of the 10th spot if they can. The Hawks, the 10th spot, you got to play on the road 2 games to make the playoffs. They're playing the Pacers. Pacers are trying to be the fucking worst team in the league. They got beat by 40 in Toronto, their last game. Bogdanovich, Gallinari, both questionable for Atlanta, for Indiana. Everybody's fucking questionable. Don't know where they're getting 5 fucking guys to play the game. So it's Atlanta or nobody. But look, the line makers are sharp. They're not idiots. You know, yesterday I saw a lot of spots. Today, they're putting the numbers where they should be. They know the Cavs should not be as big a favor as they are, but they know nobody wants to take Orlando in a spot. Same here. Could the Atlanta Hawks, one of the worst covering road teams in the NBA, be 8 on the road? No, especially with Gallinari and Bogdanovich questionable. But no way in the world can I put a penny of anybody's money, much less mine, on the Pacers, Ben.
Yeah, guys, this is an ideal spot for a live bet at halftime for me today with the Hawks and the Pacers. Talk about it often, how good the Hawks are coming out at halftime. And it just happens to be that the Pacers are dead last in third quarter points per game. They're the worst third quarter team in the NBA. So ideal spot here. I'm hoping Indiana comes out, keeps it close at halftime, be able to get a decent price for Hawks coming out of the half. We'll see if that opens up. But like John said, Hawks abysmal covering on the road. But at least they got something to play for a little bit. Meanwhile, the Pacers are just kind of laying dead. So I'm going to see if there's that look at halftime. If they're up, I probably won't be touching it. But if they're down at all, if it's a tight game, I'll be looking for them to pull away.
Yeah, I usually like taking props in games with a high total like this, 236.5, super high total. We're going to see lots of points. But the Pacers are such a weird team right now, obviously in tank mode. Hard to go for who's going to get minutes there, a whole lot. I think there's a couple plays with value there. Clint Capella, his points prop is at 11.5. I mean, the Pacers just have no front court at all. And right now, Goga Bitadze even is game time decision. So it's not even for sure if he's going to play. They just have nobody. But at the same time, Clint Capella goes games where he's not even a part of the offense at all. So he's gone over 11.5 in 4 of his last 5 games that he's played 30 minutes. So there's that. O'Shea Brissett for Indiana, I think is a decent look here, over 13 points. Hawks struggle against power forwards. And he's averaging over 30 minutes in 13 shot attempts his last 5 games. So he's being a bigger part of the offense now that the Pacers are kind of giving up on the season. So I have nothing serious here, but those are a couple leans I have.
Question from David Israel. Do you do NHL? I don't. I do Major League Baseball, NBA, NFL football. We just started having somebody a couple of weeks ago start to do the NHL, and unfortunately, we caught him on a cold streak. He came in before we put him up literally red hot, right, Ben?
Yeah, for those of you guys who are following him up in the Discord, he was on that big 15-2 run there and then hit a little cold streak. I mean, hey, they happen to everybody. The cold streaks, it's like baseball, right? You take a guy like Mike Trout, he's still going to hit 330, 340, and he's still not going to be getting base hits for, over 60% of his at-bats. So sports betting, guys, is going to be swings.
So the answer to that question is I got somebody that does hockey, but I'm still looking for more. Guys, anybody out there know somebody real good? NHL, college football for next year? Let them send me a little tape. That's something you can DM me and I can get back to you. Quick question. What do I think of Nuggets spread? Just told you guys. It's right there. I make the game 3. I don't want to lay 3 if I make the game 3. 2 teams that are fighting. Look, I can make a case for both games here. I can make a case that Charlotte's coming off back-to-back, big win in Brooklyn. They could come home tonight, but they're actually tied me in for the 8th spot with the Nets. So a loss tonight kind of undoes what they did, and they're back in the 9th spot last night. 3 points is a fair number. They've got the home revenge, the Nuggets. They got beat earlier in the year. 3 points is a guys. When I don't bet a game, that I don't want to give you a game. The line is tough. We bet when we have an edge. We lay 3 when we know the game's going to go to 5. That's the difference from me and other guys. That's what I say, throwing fucking darts. Sacramento Kings, Miami Heat. You know, Sacramento's playing without Fox and Sabonis. And their last games, they beat Orlando and they beat the Pacers. Now they got to go against a Miami team that's dropped 4 straight. The 3 they lose to Golden State team without Clay, Dre, and Porter. They lose to Philly without Harden and Embiid. They lose to the Knicks without Randall and Mitchell Robinson. And then they lose to the fucking Nets the other night, which we all saw that one coming. We were all over the Nets in that game. They're in a world of trouble right now, the Heat. They were playing such good basketball, and then out of nowhere, they can't find themselves. 0-7 against the spread the last 7 games. No way do I want to lay double digits here. Sacramento beat the Heat in Sacramento early in the year by a deuce. Hero questionable, Tucker questionable, not laying double digits. But do I want to go on Sacramento for this game in Miami? No, I don't.
Yeah, guys, Kings, no Fox and Sabonis, not necessarily a fun team to back right now, but they are covering 5-2-1 against the spread their last 8 games. Meanwhile, Miami, like John said, 0-7 against the spread last 7. They're 0-6 against the spread their last 6 at home. In the matchup, the Kings actually cover pretty well, 7-2 against the spread the last 9 meetings. But again, those just 2 key injuries there without Sabonis and Fox. Really tough to back this Kings team in this spot. And Heat, they need to get right game. So, I mean, I'm waiting for it. I thought we were going to see it the last couple of games. Haven't seen it yet. Maybe it's tonight against Sacramento, but just too tough to back them at double digits.
Yeah, I mean, look at the team total here for the Kings. It's right there around 100. It's super low today. Tough to take anything here. He's got a really good defense. One thing that can be kind of a misconception with good defenses, though, is that no one ever scores a lot of points. Like, no one player scores a lot of points. Not necessarily the case. Usually against good defenses, one player scores a lot of points, but it's those role players that can't get open. It's the depth in the defense that's really good. Davion Mitchell, his prop today is at 17.5. He is the number 1 scorer for the Kings. Last 3 games, he had 22, 25, and 28. So he's going to be shooting today. You know, you shouldn't put a ton of money on anybody who's going to play against that Heat defense, especially if it's a rookie like Davion Mitchell. But I think that's one lean I like there.
Just checking out some more. The injury list of the Oklahoma City Portland game it's actually comical at this point. I don't know what 10 guys are going to be on the court for them. We'll talk about that one in a little bit. So Chicago Bulls, Knicks is the next one, guys. So Chicago comes into New York, 4th game in 7 days. They beat Cleveland and on the road their last game. Hadn't been winning basketball games, especially on the road. Ben will give you the stats. Knicks back-to-back, 4th and 6th. Had the lead yesterday. Let Detroit back. Had the cover going yesterday. Let Detroit back in the 3rd quarter, and then fought out a tough game to get the W. 4.5 games behind the Hawks for the 10th and final play-in spot. What are the Knicks coming with tonight? I don't know. Bulls, same situation. They're in the 5 spot. They need to win. Again, a little bit of an overlay. This number was higher this morning. Could have took it by what my numbers say, but I got a team headed for the lottery against a team that's playing for playoff position. So I just stayed off this one, guys.
Yeah, tough game, guys. Knicks really bad at home lately, 1-8 against the spread their last 9 home games. The Bulls really bad on the road. They're 7-18-1 their last 26 on the road. So those 2 things don't really have much going. Bulls haven't played the best in New York. They're 1-4 against the spread the last 5 trips there. Tough game. I slightly into the under for me. There's under trends, and the matchup, it's 5-1 the last 6 meetings. Bulls have been playing a lot to the under recently while they've been struggling. They're 9-2 to the under their last 11. Knicks been playing a bit to the over. especially at home. So that's one thing keeping me off. I'm going to wait to see how the tempo of this game coming out. I might grab a live total on the under there. But as far as the side on this game, I just don't trust this Knicks team and can't trust the Bulls on the road.
Couple props here. Zach LaVine, over 4.5 assists. I like that one. He's gone over this number in 8 of his last 10 games playing alongside DeMar DeRozan. He has a higher assist rate on the road this year than home games. He had 5 assists last time he was in the Garden, and the Knicks are giving up the 6th most assists to shooting guards this year. So I like Zach LaVine over 4.5 assists. And then Julius Randle, over 21.5 points, I think is a good play. He's another one of those guys. They're playing on a back-to-back, but, when on games back-to-back, he's averaging 23 points, shooting 45%. And he's averaging 26 points per game against the Bulls this year. And the last 2 times he played the Bulls, he had over 30. So Julius Randle over 21.5, I think, is another good look there as well.
Celtics in Toronto, and this is the only game we got so far today, guys. Now, we held off in the morning. We knew Horford wasn't going to make the trip because of personal. Robert Williams, torn meniscus, that's a problem. He's out for the rest of the regular season, at least. Who knows how deep this is really going to hurt the Celtic team. With them being out, they're also sitting Tatum and Brown. Now, usually you go by my ratings, and when somebody's missing, you'll take a couple of points off depending on what that person is worth. But when you have a cluster like this, you now got 4 of the 5 starters out. Celtics are playing right now at a level that was insane. Like I said before, Celtics and Suns are up here. Everybody's a full step below them. Ben sent me actually something earlier today. It was Devin Mitchell saying that they couldn't figure, the Jazz couldn't figure out what the Celtics were doing defensively. They're that right now, I think it's the last 25 games, 22-3, Celtics or something like that. They have the highest offensive rating, the lowest defensive rating. That's as dominant as you could be. But this is a give-up game. You're sitting 4 or 5 starters. You're going up to Toronto. Will Toronto want to beat them? Yeah, because Celtics have beaten them 6 of the last 7 games. Just 4-3 against the spread, though. But they've won both games this year. They've won 2 or 3 games this year. The last 2, winning in Toronto the last game by 12 points. So you got a Toronto team, needs the wins. They're in the 6th spot right now. Celtics, like I said, this is a give-up game. 4 or 5 guys sitting out. I know a lot. We got 5.5 on this game early as soon as the news broke. I know a lot of you guys didn't get the 5.5. I hope you're late whatever you can. Game is at 8 now. Guys are asking me, what do you think about it now? Guys, I think it's double-digit blowout. I don't think Toronto will sleep on this game, and this is not the Celtics. Again, you can't take just a couple of points off for Tatum and then a couple of Brown. And then for the whole unit, this isn't the Celtics going on the court tonight. I see a double-digit blowout.
Yeah, guys, it's a Celtics laydown game all the way. I mean, they're sitting 4 of their 5 starters. Their next game's with the Heat on Wednesday, and obviously them, the Heat, the Bucks, and Celtics, Heat, Bucks, and who's this 4th team? I'm forgetting right now. It's in that contention, but anyways, 76ers. Sorry, they're all in the race here for the top 4 spots in the East, and it's all up for grabs. Anyone can land anywhere. Yeah, sorry, TJ, forgot your Sixers. Anyone can land there in that 1 through 4. So they're looking ahead a little bit to that Miami matchup, it looks like, with resting these guys. And Raptors, and they're just in jeopardy of the play-in. So this is just complete playoff, momentum, of motivation, whatever you want to call it. Raptors got to get up for this game, and missing 4 or 5 starters, you got to take that chance any day of the week.
Yeah, I had one prop I loved in this game. Already gave it out to the people who were buying the picks. Another look here, though, for the Celtics. Super small sample size for all these players for the Celtics because they've not really had any time without any of these guys on the court. Marcus Smart only played 18 minutes this year without Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Al Horford, or Robert Williams on the court with him. In those 18 minutes, though, he shot 13 times and had 22 points. So could we have a big scoring game from Marcus Smart? I don't know. Like John says, the Celtics are punting this game. They don't care about winning it, which could mean we don't see Marcus Smart very much either, an older vet-type player. But his props at 14.5 points. And even his 3 prop is over 2.5 threes, is plus 148. We could just see Marcus Smart chucking threes, the first 3 quarters until he gets pulled. But I think there's some value there.
Me and Ben actually talked this morning about maybe Marcus Smart doesn't even play in this game. We like I said, we knew Horford and Williams weren't even making the trip. Wait. I'd rather have waited for the info and laid a couple of points. I got somebody in here, one of my guys, Degenerate, laid Raptors -3. A few of the guys jumped on the game early, which is great. But I would rather lay the 5.5, knowing Brown and Tatum were out, than they were questionable early in the morning and laying the 3. Like I said, me and Ben were talking about may as well sit smart at this game. If you give him the day's rest, why shoulder him a heavy load if you're resting everybody? But we'll see what happens in that game. Golden State, Memphis, same type of scenario. Golden State just playing absolutely horrible since Curry got hurt. So Golden State now 1-3 on this road trip, 1-5 in their last 6. They'll be sitting Clay, Dre, and Porter today. And the only game that they've won was the last time that they sat Dre, Clay, and Porter, and they fucking went to Miami and beat Miami outright. Will it happen against Memphis? I don't think so. A little question mark. Triple J, Jaren Jackson Jr., questionable for Memphis in this game. It's a big number, 11-point game. It's Memphis and nobody, though. I don't think Memphis will get caught sleeping the way Miami did. And I just don't want to lay the double digits. Want better spots, guys.
Yeah, guys, Grizzlies, they're dominant at home. They've been 14-3 against the spread their last 17 home games. Total laydown game here for Golden State. I actually like Memphis in the first half in this game a bit more at -6.5. The number 1 team in first half points per game. And just as much as Golden State's kind of resting here, pumping the brakes and kind of looking on the schedule, I mean, Memphis is kind of going to be cruising to the 2 spot. I don't see Golden State catching them, especially with all the injuries they have. They can't catch Phoenix at this point. Looks like a game I feel like they're going to put away early and try to ride the bench in the second half against the banged-up Golden State team.
Yeah, tough for both sides here with missing pieces. I think Wiggins has some value here. Andrew Wiggins, his points, rebounds, and assist numbers at 26.5. He's got a much bigger scoring boost, rebound boost, assist boost without these guys on the court. He's going to be doing a lot. It's just a matter of how long does this game stay close before it's a blowout potentially. But he does have a 26% usage rate without these guys on the court with him. Memphis does have a good defense, but as we know, they're a very fast-paced team, so I think there's opportunities for some stats for Golden State. Obviously, it's going to be Jordan Poole a lot, but his props are already inflated a lot. I think Andrew Wiggins has some value.
All right, guys, just a reminder. Just because we don't have another bet tonight, stay tuned. We may have something going on at halftime, especially with a lot of these big number spreads going on. San Antonio and Houston. And this game opened up a little cheaper. The line is skyrocketed to 9 now because Houston, again, here's a team. They have the worst record. They're all playing for chips at this point. That's why I can't back any of these teams. Christian Wood, questionable. Schroeder, questionable. Gordon, questionable. Eric Gordon. How can you bet Houston? San Antonio, they're in the 11th spot now, 1 game behind the Lakers. San Antonio, nobody. Should San Antonio be this big a favorite on the road? No, not even over Houston if it was a legit game, but is Houston trying to win? These are the games at the end of the year. Like I said, yesterday was a shocker. To have 6 bets out of 7 games at this time of the year, today is more of what you'll see when you have these lottery teams. We'll have plenty of plays, only when they're good ones, only when I feel we got an edge.
Yeah, guys, Spurs are nobody here, obviously, for the reason John just said. I mean, they're just trying to get into the play-in game. Also, if you look at their schedule remaining, I mean, after this game, they have 2 games with Portland. But other than that, they have tough games. It's one with Dallas, one with Denver, one with Minnesota, Memphis, Golden State. So they have this and then 2 games with Portland that are kind of their gimme games. They really need to take advantage if they're going to catch in the play-in game. So lean to San Antonio for that. And I like them at that. I think they win this game by double digits. I mean, they just got to take care of business. We'll see if they do it. Could be Coach Pop's last season. I feel like they're going to try to make a true fight to get to the playoffs for that.
On paper, beautiful matchup for DeJounte Murray. You couldn't, write it up any better. Fast-paced defense or fast-paced team in the Rockets. But for me, it's an issue of how much will he be playing. I think Jakob Poeltl, the center for San Antonio, has potential to have a big day today. This Rockets are just terrible on the interior, giving up the most points to centers over the last 15 games. Over that span, over the last 15 games, Rockets given up over 30 points to centers in that span. They just have no one down low. Poeltl's scoring has increased each game versus Houston this season. He had 18 2 games ago, 21 last time he played Houston. His prop today is at 15.5. So I like Pirtle to have a big game. Over 15.5 is probably the best play for me.
All right. Wood, Schroeder, Gordon out, question mark. Uncle Tuesdays, questionable. Right now, questionable. Wouldn't be shocked if they're sitting out, like I said. Detroit, Orlando, Houston, all tied with 20 wins, the least in the NBA. Quick info, Gallinari just announced out for Atlanta. Gallinari out. We'll look at that game. Like I said, Bogdanovich missed the last game. We'll see if he's going to get in questionable. Not that I'm going with the Pacers. Just a note to keep you guys for halftimes. Final game of the night, guys. And this tweet actually just come up. I read tweets all day long. So Joe Masato, he covers the Thunder. He goes, this Thunder team is a 1.5 favorite tonight in Portland. And he lists the players that'll be playing for OKC. Meldon, Waters, Poco, Wiggins, Roby, Mann, Saw, Robinson, Earl. I mean, half of these guys are G League guys. Okay? Portland, same scenario. Obviously, we already know Lillard, Nurkic, they're out. Simmons has been out. Hart, Winslow. They're also sitting Woodford, Brown. Guys, the game's a joke. You can't handicap games like this. So chalk this up. Who wants to fucking lose worse? Who wants to win? It's a pass, guys. We'll be on the rest of the NBA watching halftimes and stuff. Go ahead, Ben. I'm just catching another info in the Sacramento game.
Yeah, guys, this game's ugly, and the only way I would bet it is with the under. I mean, if you look at some of the numbers here of the last 4 meetings, the under's 4-0, average of 201 points. Last 5 games for the Blazers, under's 4-1, 226, and it's 2-2. The OKC's last 4 average of 217. It's just, like John said, going to be a bunch of G League players. The one thing that scares me about that is, they're younger dudes, might play a bit more up pace. Not going to have a lot of good defense. Usually defense rotations there, but I'm just counting on shit players to not make buckets. And matchup history said it. Recent play says it. And I'm not going to watch that game. It's just a disgusting game. Just close your eyes, bet the under kind of a situation.
I got nothing. Sorry. No.
Yeah.
No props. What a shocker. Just take every fucking one under. I'm thinking, no.
Hey, if someone really wants a prop for this game, I think Poku. I think he's fun to watch. He had 17 last game. But
somebody's got to score, right? I mean, somebody's got to score.
So I guess I'm going to be sleeping.
People should put 85 up, right? Somehow they should put 85 up. Somebody's got to get some of those points. Anyway, guys, a couple of guys are asking for me to recap in the games. Nope. Guys, get in by 5 o'clock. It won't be I won't be posting it on Instagram. It'll be going right to YouTube. So if you don't catch the live, you got to go to YouTube to catch it. My channels, I guess, said How to Beat the Bookie, Ben.
Yep, How to Beat the Bookie should be up in about 30 minutes or so.
All right, that's where it goes. Guys, I'll call you out. I am Vic500. Guys, do not promote on my live. You do it again, I'll block you. Call me up. You got something to offer. You want to work together? No problem. Do it on your own. I block you. Like I say, nobody comes to my table and takes my cookies. I take your fucking cookies. That's how that goes. You guys can follow TJ now to get the rest of his real props, and maybe he can come up with something special in this fucking abortion Thunder Trailblazer game. What else we got going on, guys? Is that a wrap?
I was just going to say all the props I gave out, my leans and stuff, I put them on a graphic. They'll be on my story if you guys want to check them out.
Guys, go check out TJ. Ben will be back later in the week, I guess, with the with the stream. You're going to do anything for Final Four, Ben?
Yeah, I think we're going to do a Final Four stream on Saturday, and we'll have something going there. So, yeah, definitely going to be a stream on Saturday. But other than that, yeah, same all for the rest of the week.
Guys, we're here every night, 5 o'clock Eastern, Monday through Friday. We got the prop teacher back on Monday nights. We'll try to bring some other knowledgeable guys in each night for you, make you a little more intelligent. Let's make some money.
Good luck, guys. See you, TJ.